another body horror film. This time we're going to be doing John Carpenter's 1982 film, The Thing, starring Kurt Russell and Keith David. The film follows a group of scientists that are working at this Arctic research center that get picked off one by this shape-shifting creature. The Thing is a remake of the 1951 film The Thing from Another World, which was directed by Howard Hawks, and that film was based on the novella from 1938 called Who Goes There? This movie and David Cronenberg's The Fly, which I just reviewed, are the gold standard for practical effects. Rob Bottin did most of the work on this film, but Stan Winston kind of helped tag team certain scenes, but Bottin's work in this film is nothing short of excellent. I've seen a lot of well done practical effects in movies, and some pretty bad ones, but this film has practical effects and makeup that I truly can't explain how they were able to put that to film, or how they were able to pull it off, even after watching a lot of behind the scenes for this movie. And like Cronenberg's The Fly, this is one of the best remakes of all time, and is superior to the original in every aspect. One of the best things about this movie is that I get engrossed in the story every single time. The Exorcist and The Thing actually both do a great job of creating this overwhelming sense of dread that kind of maintains throughout the film until the very end. This film also does a great job of creating paranoia between the characters, and then in turn creating this sense of paranoia in the audience watching. And Tarantino said it best, where he explained that The Thing is like watching a bunch of characters' paranoia bounce off of the walls, and until it bounces off the fourth wall through the screen into the audience, and that paranoia is so palpable that you can't help but bring up some of your own underlying fears of distrust. I think that's what makes this movie truly scary, besides the visuals that we see on screen. It's this sense of distrust between people that is one of the more primal human fears that we feel. It's like, who can we really trust if you can't even trust the people closest to you? Friends, family. It's really terrifying when you really stop and think about it for too long, but what this film does so well is show the breakdown of a small community, which in turn breaks down an entire society. Kurt Russell is really good at being a badass, but saying Kurt Russell's a badass is like saying Clint Eastwood is good at being a badass. It's just kind of what you expect. Something about watching Kurt Russell in movies, it seems like he's kind of playing different variations of the same character, but in this he's great at expressing fear through his performance. The rest of the actors, like Keith David, and then a couple other ones that I'm slipping on their names right now, but they are fantastic in the movie too. It almost seems like the 12 Angry Men of sci-fi horror movies. This, in my opinion, is John Carpenter's masterpiece. Even above Halloween, you could tell that he put a lot of work in behind the scenes, and Carpenter himself even said that he spent a lot more time on pre-production for this movie than he did on any of his other movies. And that is so clear in his direction on screen, given to the actors or given to the different departments, that they really took their time with this movie. What's also different is that Carpenter actually didn't compose the score for this movie. He usually composes the scores for all of his movies, except for this one. They were taking a lot of time in the editing, and Carpenter himself said that he had to hand over the responsibilities for the score to Ennio Morricone, who is very well known for creating the soundtracks for spaghetti westerns. Ennio Morricone is obviously a legend, but his score here is incredibly understated compared to his western scores, which are very loud and epic. This one is very subdued, very subtle. Sometimes in the score you could kind of almost hear a heartbeat. So Morricone's score here doesn't try to distract you. it only tries to unsettle you. There are so many scenes that I could probably break down for you right now, especially with the practical effects, the defibrillator scene. I won't spoil that, but I'm just going to let you go watch it for yourself, because I think this movie is something that every horror fan should experience. So I'm going to give this movie 5 out of 5 stars. I truly can't think of a negative to give this movie, besides just nitpicking the acting sometimes. But I think it's truly perfect. One of the few perfect movies, up there with The Exorcist. Go check it out. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode of 31 Days of Horror.